Okay, going live. Hello, hi everyone. I'm Sanjay Gupta. I welcome you on Sanjay Gupta Tech School. So I have Abhishek with me. Welcome Abhishek on the channel. So today Abhishek will be giving some demonstrations around OmniScript. So we already covered two parts of the OmniStudio. One is data raptor and another is integration procedures. So I hope you are enjoying all the sessions and you are able to practice whatever scenarios Abhishek is implementing and demonstrating to you. And I'm like seeing the impact of these sessions, like people are getting certified and they are tagging us so that we can aware about those. So I'm happy, like whatever efforts we are doing, due to those efforts people are getting certification in OmniStudio. Like we told you, you will be able to do two certifications. So one is OmniStudio developer and one is OmniStudio consultant. So people are like able to do OmniStudio developer certification. If you want to do consultant certification, so through these sessions you will be able to do that as well. So in continuation to that, next topic is like OmniScript. So now you will be able to learn through the scenarios how you can utilize your DR, data raptor and IP integration procedures with the help of OmniScript, right? So in the season 2, for the first time you will see the UI. So you will be providing some inputs from the UI, and basis on that, in the backend IP or data raptor will be working. Okay, so with this note, I pass it on to Abhishek. So Abhishek, I think we can start.
Yeah, thanks, Sanjay. So, hi everyone. Myself, Abhishek, and I'm working as a Salesforce and Velocity developer since 5+ years now. And I have done some certifications around Velocity as well as the Salesforce. So, I have done some certifications like OmniStudio developer, Industry CPQ developer, and also one health insurance quoting developer from Velocity. And I have some few certifications from Salesforce Core as well. So, yeah, that's it about me.
Okay, and if you want to become part of a group where lots of freshers and experienced folks are connected, so you can scan this QR code and you can join the Telegram group. Uh, Next, if you want to share some reviews or feedback so that we can have some motivation and we can plan some more sessions for you. So we are thinking about industry CPQ or CPQ. So maybe soon you will hear from us about that as well. Okay, so I think now we can start with the scenario implementation. So these are the three scenarios that one by one Abhishek will be implementing. So uh, with this scenario, you will be like leveraging your DR and IP along with OmniScript. Okay, so yeah, we can start now.
Yeah. So as Sanjay mentioned, till now, what we have done is we started from data raptor, then we came to integration procedures. So if you all remember the preview tab, from the preview tab, we were always used to provide the input from the a temporary JSON that we used to create, right? So while explaining the preview tab, I was always telling that this is some dummy data that we are passing it on to Omnis data raptor and IPs. So from today, uh, we're gonna feed the data to IP and data raptors in actual values. So basically, if you compare it with the Salesforce, we have LWC. So from LWC, from the UI, we get some inputs from user, and then we pass it on to Apex classes to create some records, update some records, or do some sort of business logic. So today onwards, we're gonna use actual UI of OmniStudio, from where we will be getting the values from user, And after that, we're gonna feed it to IPs and data raptors so that that preview tab, the values that we used to provide into the preview tab, from today onwards, we're gonna pass it on to the actual values. So the first scenario that we're gonna discuss today is we're gonna create a OmniScript to get account information with the help of user, and we will insert that account into the database with the help of a data raptor. So let's jump onto the org. So first of all, I'll explain what is OmniScript and how OmniScript looks like. So if you all remember, when we used to create an IP, we used to define type and subtype to uniquely identify an IP. There will be another attribute added to the OmniScript. So type, subtype, and language. Combining these three fields will be a uniquely identifier for an OmniScript. And the name will be your, the label, whatever you want to give. So let's say I'm gonna say OmniScript to insert an account, and type. Let's say I'm gonna keep it as account, and here I'm gonna say insert account. Okay, and the fundamental will be the same for type and subtype. Whenever you want to do some sort of multiple OmniScript you want to create around account, then you can keep the type as always account, and subtype will be different so that you can categorize your OmniScripts. I'm going to click on save. And it will take some time. Yeah. So this is the UI structure of OmniScript builder. So basically, it consists of three parts again. This one is the structure panel where you will be seeing all the elements that you will be using in your OmniScript, and this is the panel where you will be you will be seeing all the elements that you are using, and you can also modify them. And into the third parameter, we have two subtabs. One is build. So in the build, you will be finding all the elements that you can use. So if you compare it with the IP, in the left-hand side, we used to have available components, right? So that comes onto the right side in OmniScript, where you can use like data raptor extract action, data raptor post action, and all. If you compare it if you compare it with the LWC, we can use multiple inputs. So like if I expand the input panel, here we have checkbox, currency, even you can use a lightning web component, date, time, and so on. So here you will be finding whatever components that you want to use or the elements, and into the setup, you will be able to see so many options over here. And is this OmniScript is reusable? Is this OmniScript enable tracking? So if you want to know more about all of these options, you can always click on this information icon and you can check it out. And so this is a structure clarification for the OmniScript. So there is one thing: whenever you create an OmniScript, there will be always a step added by default. Okay. So if I talk about what is actually OmniScript means OmniScript means a user guided flow. Okay, where you will be having multiple steps, and in those multiple steps you will get some data from user, and you will pass it on to your IP or data raptor so that you can insert, update, or perform some sort of business logic. So according to this first scenario, what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some information for account, and then we want to insert it with the help of data raptor. So from the build tab, so first of all, we're gonna give it a name to this this step. So let's say I'm gonna give it a name. Let's say account information. Okay. And this is the developer name, so we have to keep it is like this. Label, we will be having, we can have a space. Okay. And we have some sort of properties in here, like button properties. What are the button available when we will be previewing? So like if you want to preview this OmniScript, you can click on this preview button, and here you will be able to see the step that you have added. So like you can see the account information. Right now we haven't added any sort of input element, so there is none. And on the right hand side, you will be able to see the steps. So whenever you visit any website, and if you are entering some sort of information into a guided flow, there will be always a step chart will be there. So this will all, I mean, like if I'll be having multiple steps, then there will be 2 steps shown over here, right? So I'll go back to the design, and I'm gonna take, let's say, one text input. I'll just drag and drop. And for example, this will be the name, and I'll take one more, which is select, I think, so that we can have the active value, active field mapping. So this will be like, we can have it like account name.
So select is basically a pick list here, right?
Yeah, correct. Yes. So this is your account name, and you have multiple options. Like if you want to make it this field as required, you can just select, check this checkbox. If you want to make this field as read only, you can do that as well. If you want to provide some sort of default value, that also you can do. If you want to mask your input field, what will be the minimum length, maximum length, autocomplete, and repeat settings, all these things. So basically the best part of OmniScript is that this is kind of a self-paced learning that you can do with the help of OmniScript build structure, because with every option you will be seeing an information icon, and by reading that you can get a glimpse of it. I mean, like what exactly this option will do, right? So I mean, like this is there, and there is one more thing over here is like you can have some sort of condition as well. So if you remember in the IP, we used to have one section called execution formula. So whenever that formula used to get the value as true, then only that element will. So we can have the same thing over here as well. So we can have, I mean, like we can say, we can define some sort of condition. If that condition is getting mapped or matched, then only this element will be visible on UI, right?
So we can say it as a visibility filter. It is, yeah, it is available in
kind
screen.
of.
Yeah, screen flow also we use this functionality a lot.
Correct. So it's totally similar to that.
Okay.
And so this is the text configuration that we did. Now for the spec list one, we're gonna say, let's say account active, all say similar, required and read only. Now, what is this option source? So option source is like you can do multiple things. You can have your custom as well. So in this, if you are choosing the custom, then you have to call an Apex class. Then you will be providing your options from an Apex class. If you choose manual, then you can add manual options for your pick list. If you use S object, okay, then in this one, what you can do is you can type in the I think here it will be account, I think so. Yeah. So here what you have to do is you have to first type in the S object name, and then you have to then you have to type in your field name. So as soon as you will type this format, it will automatically fetch all the pick list value that you have onto your S object, and those values will be available to select. So now if I go to preview, I can type in the name in here, and in the active I have 2 values, no or yes. Correct? So this is the advantage of OmniScript, that when you are using a pick list mapping that you will be getting from user, and if you want to map it with any sort of S object field, that you can do with the help of this functionality. You just give the S object name dot the field API name. That's it. So, I mean, like till now, what we have done is we have created a screen where we will be getting an input from user, that you enter your account name, enter your active field value for account record. Now, if you want to insert this account, what you have to do is you have to drag and drop one data raptor post action from here. So, yeah, so now there will be two things. If you drag and drop your data raptor action into the step, okay, this will be visible as a button. The reason is because whenever you click on next, I mean, like if you drag and drop your data raptor outside your step, and if you click on step next button, this data raptor will get executed automatically in the backend. But if you drag and drop this data raptor into the step, this data raptor will not get executed until and unless you will click this button. Okay.
Right.
So for now, I'm gonna keep it outside, and we're gonna name it like DRP insert account. Okay. And here we're gonna select one data raptor which will insert my account. So let's say I'm gonna select this one, and if I open this,
Okay, so here, like with OmniScript, we are directly attaching the data raptor.
correct, yes, we are not using the IP for now.
Okay.
So now, if you remember from preview, we used to give all the account information, correct? These were the temporary values for now,
Right.
whenever we executed from data raptor. But now we will pass the values from OmniScript to the data raptor. So this time these values are not temporary. We are getting it from user, and we are just passing it to the data raptor. So here what we can do is,
One question.
sorry.
In the data raptor, in that input, whatever JSON we provided, so that will be overridden with the value which we are providing in the OmniScript, right?
Correct. I mean, like these values are just here for the preview purpose.
Okay.
These are not the actual values when we'll be executing from the OmniScript.
Okay. Perfect.
So now if I go to preview, and for example, let's say I'm going to type in, let's say test or SGTS OmniScript 1, and active is yes. Okay. So when you are into the preview mode, on the right hand side, you can see two subtabs. First is the data JSON, second is the action debugger. So I have a name and the active field as user inputs. So into the data JSON, these values, correct? These values are automatically created by OmniScript, but these two things are created by us. Okay. So this is the account information, which is our step name, account name, which is our name input element, account active, which is our active input element. So if I select the no value over here, it will get automatically updated with no. So what does that mean is, let's say if you have multiple steps into your OmniScript, okay? So whatever values you are selecting into the preview, those all values is gonna get saved into your data JSON. So whenever someone asks you what is data JSON into an OmniScript, you can just simply say it is a data model which will hold all the values I have populated into my OmniScript journey. Those values will be held into the data JSON or OmniScript data model. You can say anything from that.
Okay.
Right. And what is action debugger? So whenever you are calling some sort of data raptor IP from your OmniScript, so as soon as I click on next, so I mean, like the UI is not that good for OmniScript. So my data raptor has been called. Okay. And in the request data, if I copy this and go to JSON blob once, in the request data, my whole OmniScript data JSON is getting passed to my data raptor.
Data raptor.
So basically, what is happening into the background? In the preview, this is getting passed to my data raptor. I hope I'm able to make sense. So whatever you have given inputs into your OmniScript, and as soon as you click on next, whatever you have into your data JSON, correct, into your OmniScript, that all data will get passed into the request data, and this request data will pass all the inputs to your fields. Kind of, it will pass the mappings to your fields sub tab.
So
Now,
do we need to change these mappings also?
Correct. Yes, that is I'm gonna do now. So now what will happen? So I'm gonna copy this, and here I'm gonna say account information : account name.
But here,
This-
node name, the topmost node name. If you go to the JSON, so object list. Do we need to use that node name as well? Object list, the second
no,
line.
so
line
that's
number 2.
So I'll tell you.
Mhm.
So this object list is only for the action debugger.
Okay.
So what actual data is getting passed to your data raptor is this,
Okay.
right? So you can ignore that object list.
Understood.
So account information : account name, then account information : account active. I'm gonna create one more mapping.
So either we change the
And-
data raptor, otherwise whatever name we used in data raptor, we need to use that in OmniScript, so that both will
Correct.
be on sync.
Right? And now if I go back, I'll refresh this and I'll pass the values again, because previously the mappings were not created. That is why account didn't got created. Now it will get created. SGTS OS1, and let's say active is gonna yes. I'm gonna click next. And this is the third tab of your data raptor debugger. And if I copy this and go here and paste it over here you can see this is providing me the account ID. If you can see here. Okay, I'll do it over here. So created objects by order, and if I expand it in this one, I'm getting one account ID, correct? So when we were used to execute it from the preview and we used to click execute, the record which was getting created, we used to get it as an output. So that output is coming into the data raptor action debugger in the form of this created objects by order, dr load insert, and this. And if I go back to my data JSON, so I'm getting that record ID into my data JSON as well. So if I want to use this ID in future into my OmniScript, I can use it. So is there any confusion that can be there, Sanjay, according to you?
No, I think everything is clear. The only thing, whoever is watching this, they just need to follow the steps which you explained, so that they can get their hands dirty and understand how actually things are working.
Correct. Yes. So this was our first scenario. I mean, initially OmniScript, to understand the OmniScript will be difficult because it's not that straightforward if we compare it to data raptor and IP.
Right.
But whenever you do, the more practice you will do, the more familiar you will get with this OmniScript. Let's execute the second scenario where we want to. Okay. where we want to do, in the first step we'll fetch the account details, and the second step will get the contact details, and then we'll insert both the records into a single data raptor.
And can we do the linking as well? Like contact should be
Yeah.
related. Okay. That will be done through
Yeah.
Data Raptor.
Correct. With the link, with the link option that we have
Right.
into the data raptor. So I'm gonna use the same OmniScript.
Yeah.
Let's do one thing. Okay. We'll get one more step after the account step, and we're gonna call it as contact information. And in this one, okay, we're gonna again have one input element which will be text, and one more input element which will be your first name and last name.
Yeah, I think two
And
are okay.
okay, we'll keep only these two.
Hmm.
So this will be your first name. This will be your last name. Yeah. And let's use the same data raptor. So now what will happen? So this time what we're gonna do is we're gonna create the mappings first into the data raptor, then we're gonna execute it from the preview tab. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna add one more object into this. So this should be familiar to all the viewers there who are whomsoever are watching, because this has been explained by us previously. So in the second step, we are adding the contact. We are adding a link between them, which will be the account ID, which will be coming from the first step, and what field that we want to map is ID. Correct? If I go to fields, the contact tab will be automatically created, and the account mapping will also get created automatically by the linking process. And the data which will be coming from our OmniScript into the contact information. So I'm going to create a mapping, contact information, first name, the element name that we kept. So if I go back and if I see the element name is first name, and for the last name, we have the last name. And this will be like this. This is last name. Okay. And okay, let's go to the preview and execute it from the UI. So see, now I can see two step into my step chart because I have added two things here. So let's say SGTS OmniScript second example, active will be yes. If I click on next, the data raptor will not get called because there is one more step that we need to populate. So let's say I'm going to populate Abhishek. And if I click on next, this time data raptor will get called. And if you can see into your data JSON, you have two objects in it, account information, contact information. And if I click next, as you can see into my data JSON, one account has been created, one contact has been created. And we'll see it from the UI as well. So this is your SGTS OS2, the account. And into the related tab, I have my contact as well.
Okay.
Correct?
Yep. And one more thing I want to ask, like we entered account information, we entered contact information. Can we have a one more step where we can place a simple text? Your account and contact information has been recorded, or like records has been created. Can we show?
Yeah. We can definitely do that. So, so what we're gonna do here is let's Okay. Let's have one more step
Mhm.
after the account, after the DR call,
Right.
and we're gonna name it as confirmation. And in this, we're gonna select one input, I mean, like one element from the display, and we're gonna use the text block. Okay. Yeah. And into this text block, we can just simply say your account and contact information has been saved, and correct. So if I go to preview once, I just want to get this information, DR ID account, because the account ID that we are getting, which is into this one, right? DR ID underscore account, correct? And you must be wondering how this name is getting created. So the name is getting created like DR ID underscore account is like um, it will always, I mean, like if you have two things, DR account tab and contact tab into
Right.
your data wrapper.
Yeah.
So this will always come something like this: DR ID underscore account, DR ID underscore contact.
Okay.
Okay,
Always.
always, yeah. And in the navigate action, what we can do here. So navigate action is used to navigate the user from OmniScript to the actual record. Or you can navigate to some sort of page as well. If you are using communities, you can navigate to the community pages as well. So I'm going to call it as navigate account, copy. And page reference type, we have so many things: record, current page, knowledge article, login, so many things that we have: web page, velocity, and all these things. So for now, I'm going to keep it as a record. Object API name is account, and the record ID that we are getting will be coming into this one, DR ID underscore account. Correct?
And it will be in percent inside the percent.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And so the thing is, if I preview it, and from the preview, navigation action doesn't work actually, because this is your testing environment for OmniScript. Okay. So basically, I mean, like whenever we implement any sort of LWC, we always add it onto an home page or record page, something like that. So similarly, we're gonna do that thing only. So there is one feature of OmniScript and FlexCard, which is the UI tools of OmniStudio. When you have to activate the version for this one. So as soon as you activate your version, OmniStudio will automatically create a LWC component into the Salesforce environment. Okay, and you all know, as whenever you create a LWC component, you can add it onto your home page, onto your record page, onto your community page, anywhere.
Right.
So now let's say I'm gonna go to the home page. And how we can add this to your home page? You have to edit your Flexi page and do the configuration. Let this get loaded. Yeah. Okay, I have done so many examples over here. So I'm gonna click on edit page. And so your LWC component name will be your OmniScript name. So you can search it by OS. Okay, it will come onto the custom, which will take some time to load. Some Salesforce things that we don't understand. OS. Okay. Just a second. My OmniScript name was OS insert account, right? Yeah, here we go.
Account /
The
insert
type is
account.
account, subtype is insert account, and the language, the combination of them, the name, which will be the combination of those three fields.
Okay.
So I'm gonna drag and drop that LWC over here, click on save, and if I go back, yeah, here we go. This is our LWC. So you can see, I mean, like you haven't written any single line of code, and you have created a LWC, which is, I mean, like some sort of a good UI.
Yeah. So those who are not good with the code, they
Yeah.
might be happy like without doing any coding, we can create the UI similar to LWC.
Correct. I mean, like you have created one user guided flow without writing a single piece of code. And also you are inserting the account, you are connecting your contact with your account, all the things with the configurations.
Right.
SGTS OS3, select the yes, click next, fill the information, Sanjay Gupta, and click next. You will be seeing the confirmation screen. Your account and contact information has been saved. And if you click next, you will get redirected onto your account record page. And here we go.
Yeah, awesome. So simple.
Yep.
Like if someone implement this through LWC, so I'm sure like it will take around minimum 1 hour.
I mean, like for a beginner, it's kind of
Yeah.
a 1 or 2 days job.
Yeah.
If someone into a learning phase.
Yeah, and even for beginner, this OmniScript data raptor, if someone is following all the sessions, they can create in half an hour. Like if you
Yeah.
are taking for LWC 2-3 hours, so it will be reduced to half an hour only, and that
Correct.
too without writing any code, without like remembering everything. So we just need to drag and drop. We need to fill some configuration, and yeah, that's why like low code development is now in demand, and in most of the industries cloud, I think this OmniStudio tool is being used. So this is good if someone is targeting their job upskillment. Like if you are thinking to become like industry cloud developer, so from Salesforce developer to industry cloud developer, if you want to switch, you need to learn OmniStudio whole tool. Yep. Okay, so I think first two examples are done, right? Anything
Yeah.
left on that side?
I think we have the third one as well for the type head block, but you suggest, Sanjay, if
Maybe
you want to continue.
we can cover that in our next session. So
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, let viewers implement this, whoever is following, and we can cover we can cover the next example in our next session. So maybe we can have one more session on OmniScript where we can.
Definitely.
So I just want one thing like how we can connect OmniScript with IP and then data raptor. So that example we will do, and we will cover type ahead and like update sort of functionality. So in one session we will cover that. Then we can do flex card also, so that all four will be explained, and then we will be doing the projects.
One project, yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like there is one more thing that I want to suggest whomsoever is learning OmniStudio. So, I mean, like first, whenever you will see all these options, it will be very overwhelming for you because these are so many options and configurations for you. But if you follow the approach that with I always used to implement any sort of, business problem that is given by the client, I always follow the same process. First of all, I create the UI. I call the backend process, which is IP or data raptor, and I never create the mappings. First, what I'll do is I'm gonna get enter some values. I'm gonna get my data JSON from the OmniScript data JSON, and according to that, I'm gonna create my mappings into my IP and data raptor, and just drag and drop your data raptor IPs actions in it, and do your stuff. So when you are a beginner, don't try to rush and create the mappings before checking the preview. Always check the preview, then create the mapping. So that will be easy, and that will be, in your mind, you can imagine how you want to proceed. So that's one suggestion from my end.
Yeah, perfectly makes sense. So there is one question from Surekha, how OmniStudio and CPQ are related.
Okay. So these two are different entities, I can say. So I'll give you a simple example. So you have Apex, you have SOQLs, you have LWC, you have Aura components into your Salesforce core system. But those are the tools by which you implement some sort of functionality. So similar to that, you have your Sales Cloud, for example. So that Sales Clouds have been made with the help of the components that Salesforce has provided, like Apex, like SOQL, like LWCs. Similarly, the OmniStudio is a tool for implementing the industry's cloud. So the term that you always hear, which is industry CPQ, the public sector, the insurance industries from Velocity, these all are the solutions by the Velocity, but the core tools that have been used to create those solutions is OmniStudio.
Yeah.
Right?
Next is someone is asking, Pawan is asking, hi Pavan. His question is like, if we created an integration procedure, so can we call that through Postman? And if we can, so can we change the status code?
Don't get confused with the word of integration. Integration procedure is nothing. It's not some sort of an integration tool. It's a tool in that you can call multiple backend processes. It's not some sort of integration by which you will integrate your two systems. It's kind of a process in which you can call so many things in a single transaction.
Yeah, exactly. So, Pawan, it is not exactly related to that integration which you are thinking to call it through Postman. So it is internally available with OmniStudio. Yeah, so within OmniStudio you will be able to use integration procedure to connect with
Yeah.
Data Raptor, OmniScript, FlexCard, and other things. Okay, so I think we can wrap the session here only. So guys, please implement whatever Abhishek explained, and we will be having one more session on OmniScript so that you can learn few more things, right? So I think next 2 weeks, few more sessions you will see on OmniStudio, right? And maybe after that, something new I will going to start. So in last year I promised you like we'll be having sessions on different clouds. So I'm planning those. So soon I will be starting those sessions. And I gave a challenge to Abhishek to have a sessions on industry CPQ or CPQ, whatever he can. So let's see
Yeah.
when he will be ready. Okay,
Sure,
so
Sanjay.
yeah. Thank you guys for joining the session, and thank you Abhishek for sharing your knowledge. Okay, see you next week with another session. Bye everyone.